This is Bruce for Ola Prime, taking a look at the S&P 500, crude oil, and Bitcoin from a technical perspective. So, starting with the S&P 500 on the daily chart, a few interesting things I think we want to be aware of. Number one, the decline so far has been 9.5%. The worst decline previous to that was uh, 9.7, and before that, 10.9. So, based on that, it's right near a similar measured move compared to the previous couple corrections. Um, Number two, we have a declining line across these lows right here that happens to be in the area where uh, support was found today and the close above that line. And I'm paying a little bit more attention to this because we have an expanding triangle developing potentially here. It's not perfect, it's not great, but it should support a nice potential for a nice rally once a bottom is established. It's not clear a bottom is established. Certainly, there's no sign of it yet, but I think we're getting close, if not in an area where we could see some further evidence, like an intraday bullish reversal, for example, that would trigger a potential, at least a temporary bottom for a rally. Of course, there's 200 moving average potential resistance up here at 5,734, 735. There will likely be some resistance here initially on the first approach, on a pullback. For a rally, that's going to be the first pullback is going to be the area to look for really better risk reward potential entries for continuation of the rally. Uh, on the moving averages, the 20 recently crossed down through the 50, confirming the bearishness of this decline, which of course is obvious. And in the bigger picture, that may have an impact. But for now, it looks like the bigger potential move is going to be a rally whenever it does come, which will be a counter-trend rally to this decline. Okay, moving on to crude oil. Now, crude oil, we're taking a quick look on the weekly chart because I think it gives a better example of what might be going on or what we want to pay attention to. So let's start with the 200 moving average. 200 moving average, crude was above it, tested support, all through here, and then dropped below it, tested resistance, and sold off again. So it sold off twice after tested resistance, which is a process of a continuation of a bearish trend. And so now we see the impact of that here as this prior support level from September 24, which was support, which was the lowest level since way back here in May 23, and it really starts to bring us into the support zone for this larger consolidation structure that really takes the shape of a, well, we'll look at it like this now, a larger symmetrical triangle pattern, but nevertheless, we have patterns of lower swing highs and lower swing lows and so forth. So a break below the swing low is a continuation of this bearish pattern right here, which leads to a potential continuation of this larger developing bearish pattern. And again, this is on the weekly. And you can see when the 20 moving average, which was resistance all through here, was reclaimed here, tested as support, failed, resistance, and then continue. This is also very bearish overall. Now, looking at the daily really quick, what does this tell us? Well, it happens to have a bearish pattern here. There was a failed bullish reversal yesterday, and then today, a continuation to the downside that gets further confirmed on a low below Thursday's low of 65.73, and then at the trend low of 65.34. So we really have what's turning into somewhat relentless selling, we could say, and the angle of descent is increasing. And given what the S&P has been doing lately and markets in general, I wouldn't be surprised to see it continue to the downside. Of course, a rally above today's high is short-term bullish, 67.70. Okay, finally with Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin, let's take a look at the 20-week moving average here. 20-week moving average is support, broke through support, broke through it again last week. And then we set up and then Bitcoin set up an inside week. And there's a breakdown from an inside week today. So an inside week is a form of consolidation on that time frame. And this is a bearish continuation, a breakdown of an inside period, whatever, whether it's week or daily or hourly, whatever it is bearish and is a bearish continuation signal. Now, of course, like any signals, there's got to be follow through to further confirm whether the sellers are going to remain in control. Now, I think this area right down here around the 50-week moving average is interesting as a possible support zone around 75,496. For one thing, it's going flatlining right here. It's also around this trend line, which I'm not going to give as much weight to. It's also very close to this previous trend high. It becomes a potential support over here. But you can see how it was tested here successfully as support, and was tested over here as support, and it aligned here with the trend line. And that many times can signal a stronger level when they're aligning, I find. Okay, and this is just a follow through from this double top that triggered a breakdown below 89,398. There was some confusion here as it rallied back up and so forth, or it got choppy around here. But it looks like now it's a little clearer. But at the same time, we're closer to a potential completion of the correction. Now, how far down has it come? Just let's look at the symmetry here. The measure moved 29% here, 33% here, 22% here, 22%. Okay, so this is a relatively, it's approaching the largest decline since the rally, okay, that began back down here in November 22. But I do think it's approaching, getting closer to support. But nevertheless, I don't see any potential buy setting up at this point. Okay, that is it for today, traders. Have a great week.